Emperor Guillotine, king of the Gargoyle Gang, plans to take back Giant Robot and to arrest Johnny Sokko, the only one that can give orders to the robot. He sends a huge magic metal globe called a Nucleon to the Earth. During this time, Unicorn continues testing out the limits of Giant Robot. It can withstand 3,000-degree heat and fly at a whopping Mach 19. The Terror Ball begins to destroy a small village. The army and all of its efforts are useless against it. Chief of Unicorn convinces Johnny to join them and use his robot to defend the Earth. He then sends Johnny and Agent Jerry Mano to stop the destruction by the rolling ball of death. Guillotine sends Spider to capture Johnny so that Giant Robot can be his again. Spider gasses Johnny and Jerry. With Johnny out, Giant Robot can no longer move. The Nucleon ball drags him underwater. Guillotine's new monster, a giant globe known as Nucleon, returns to creating havoc on Earth when Spider is confronted by Unicorn. They are attempting to save Sokko and Mano. The agents from Unicorn organization are defeating Spider until help arrives to turn the tables. Johnny wakes up, and now Johnny can once again call on Giant Robot to tackle Guillotine's Nucleon. After a fierce battle, the robot destroys Nucleon. Spider's car blows up. Is this the end of the Gargoyle Gang? Only episode 3 knows for sure.
Here is a tale of the tape for the Nucleon Ball, the primary threat in the second episode of Johnny Sokko and his flying robot. Nucleon Ball, or sometimes referred to as the Magic Globe. Appearance. First, its size. Roughly the height of 3 telephone poles standing on top of one another. Shape. A perfectly round sphere. Color. Glows with a bright, almost radioactive light, often depicted with a greenish or bluish hue. Surface. Smooth and metallic, with an otherworldly luminescence. Abilities. Disintegration. The Nucleon Ball's primary weapon is its ability to disintegrate any object that it comes in contact with. Oh, yes! Oh. Bzzzt, bzzzt. I've just added little sound effects there, I hope you don't mind. This includes buildings, vehicles, and potentially living beings as well. Self-propulsion. The ball can move on its own, rolling or floating toward targets with an almost sentient precision. Indestructibility. Initially, the Nucleon Ball appears to be impervious to conventional weapons and attacks, making it a formidable challenge for Johnny Sokko and the Giant Robot. Weaknesses, however. Giant Robot's interference. Ah, yes, that would be a weakness for that big blob, wouldn't it? I shouldn't pick on him, though. Eventually, the Giant Robot is able to neutralize or counter the Nucleon Ball's destructive power, although the specifics of how this is achieved depends on the robot's abilities and the strategic thinking of Johnny Sokko. Origin. Created by. The Nucleon Ball is a creation of the Gargoyle Gang, likely engineered by their scientists or Dr. Botanus as a part of their ongoing efforts to dominate the world. That's not very nice, is it? No. Purpose. It serves as a terror weapon, designed to cause mass destruction and chaos, demoralizing those who oppose the Gargoyle Gang. That's not nice of you fellows. Impact, the terror factor. Nucleon Ball's ability to obliterate anything it touches makes it a terrifying adversary, not just physically, but psychologically. Battle scenes. The ball plays a central role in the episode's action scenes, with a giant robot engaging in a tense battle to stop its rampage. Final outcome. The Nucleon Ball is eventually neutralized or destroyed by the combined efforts of Johnny Sokko and the giant robot, preserving the peace of the world for yet another day. The Nucleon Ball is emblematic of the unique and imaginative threats that Johnny Sokko and the giant robot must face, contributing to the show's reputation for creative threats.
Episode 2, The Magical Nucleon Ball. I'm Jack, and here's my boss, Brian.
Hello.
Does Emperor Guillotine look like Cthulhu at a disco to you?
Yeah, I like his Michael Jackson-esque shirt, all glittery.
Spider has, like, the greatest scowls of all time. He's a living anime character.
Yeah, he's got all of that. He's got the evil laughs, the evil smirks. He's very animated.
Guillotine's plan here, he sent the Nucleon Ball really as a distraction. So Spider was up to knocking out Johnny Sokko, and they were going to take Johnny Sokko back to Guillotine's headquarters, force him to be a part of the Gargoyle Gang or do something to break his connection with Robo. They were going to make Jerry Mono give up all the unicorn agents.
I mean, for the most part, it worked out. It was well, except his knockout gas is kind of bad quality because they woke up after like 10 minutes. That's what ended up leading to them escaping and then calling back the robot. The ball was able to carry away the robot into the water. I give the plan like 7 out of 10 for thoughtfulness.
I want to say my favorite scene, shot-wise, is Nucleon Ball hooking the Sphinx headgear of Giant Robot, dragging it along into the underwater thing with Emperor Guillotine and his multicolored ship, which lends more to the disco aspect of Emperor Guillotine, even though he's like 10 years too early. I really like the Nucleon Ball.
My favorite shot was when all the little toy tanks were rolling up. They're supposed to be like live action full tanks, but you could really tell that they're tanks, and they're sitting there shooting at the Nucleon Ball, and they're just missing everything.
I thought it looked really fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
But they missed this huge rolling ball over and over again. They never hit the thing. Giant Robot, when he was firing at the Nucleon Ball, he didn't seem to hit it either until maybe he snuck one in at the end and the thing blew up.
I don't even think he hit it with the rockets. He had punched the thing. That's how he ended up getting a hit on it. I don't know how they're managed to missing something that's like the size of a cell tower. That's like missing Godzilla, but they do that too.
Ball itself was a good shot. I mean, it had these tentacle extenders that look like cannons. They were able to actually move. I mean, they were able to break in the middle. It was really interesting. Unfortunately for the ball and Emperor Guillotine and our boy Spider, the missiles on the Nucleon Ball left a lot to be desired because they hit Giant Robot in the chest and did nothing.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we know how powerful he is. They say in the beginning of the episode when they're testing him, they're like, yeah, when they said 3,000 degrees couldn't do anything, then he's almost impenetrable, something like that. We know how durable the robot is, so I wouldn't figure those little rockets would do anything anyway.
The unicorn agents, they were good shots. They blasted quite a few of the Gargoyle gang.
Yeah, they had perfect accuracy. There was times where they're sitting there running, and they had little tiny, like, Makarov pistols almost. And they're just, like, hitting everything from all kinds of ranges. So, I mean, good on them, I guess. They didn't learn from the stormtroopers.
I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much everything about this episode. I thought the special effects were fun. Yes, the tanks looked like toys. But when they got run over, it looked really cool.
No, it did look good. It looked like they were putting, like, little tiny firecrackers or something inside of, like, an actual explosive little toy.
The fight scene between Giant Robot and a giant ball, you see that and you're thinking, okay, that's going to be hard because it's just going to be a guy in a volleyball game.
Yeah, what much can you do with that?
But they did a lot with it.
Yeah, no. I think the ability of the ball to actually, like, retract and then push out those cannons again was cool because you could do a lot, as he had done before. He had ended up punching it and it went flying into the mountain, and then boom, 2 of those cannons are gone now, or like a few of them at least. I think that was an intake. It wasn't alive so much, but it had, I guess, emotion almost.
It seemed like it did. It's because the tentacles were inexplicably able to break.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's more of the Guillotine's disco thing. He wanted it to be able to do, the John Travolta finger in the air. But that was really impressive that they made the ball more than just a big round drone.
It's like a metal sea urchin is what it looked like.
Right. It moved like a sea urchin, yes. And that was cool. This episode really got more out of the villain than I thought really should have been able to get.
Compared to the first episode, it was a lot more cartoonish, not animated in the sense that it was actually physically animated kind of thing, but all of the like scenes, they felt a lot more silly and fun. It felt like I was watching an actual kids show. I mean, that's something I don't mind.
The first one, over half of it is introducing this is what the giant robot is, this is how you got him. So the Dracolon is in like 3 minutes of the darn thing. Here, because we already had that groundwork, they were able to do a lot more, like making Johnny Sokko part of Unicorn and telling him, don't tell your parents. What's gonna happen when the parents ask him to show him the new watch? Will Giant Robot show up at his doorstep?
I don't know how it works. You don't get a good view of it, but I figure he'd probably be like, "Oh, this is it's a Fitbit. It's something to keep my heart rate."
Because Johnny is definitely, I don't know, he looks to be 9 or 10 at most in this. Mm-hmm. So his parents are gonna be wondering why he's gone so much.
Yeah, why are you not at school, kid?
It's a really interesting situation that he's in, but they're desperate because there was one great character moment. The chief, he sees the Nucleon ball. At this point, Johnny Sokko and Jerry Mono are knocked out and in the back of Spider's car. So the giant robot is not reacting. It's still underwater and kind of frozen. You had Unicorn kicking the crap out of Gargoyle Gang and Old Spider, and then the Nucleon ball shows up and just blows the mess out of all the Unicorn agents. The chief goes, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, if the robot couldn't do anything, then there is literally nothing they could do. It was all bad for them at that point.
Yeah, it shows they need Sokko, because without Johnny Sokko, they don't have the giant robot.
And they even told him that too. They said when they had first inducted him into Unicorn, they were, the world is in your hands. You're putting all that pressure onto a 9-year-old kid.
Talk about having the weight of the world on your shoulders, right?
Yeah.
At least you have Jerry Mono, a moral support. Not that he can do a whole lot, I mean, but he's there.
Like the mentor, the older brother.
Okay, we'll start with my boy Spider. We already talked about the actor being brilliant in this, and he is. What about the character? I thought they made him a competent villain.
Yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to villaining. Honestly, he didn't really make any mistake other than getting in that car at the very end. That was his fatal flaw.
Yeah, his fatal flaw was actually getting in the car to escape, and then it seems like the Nucleon ball blew it up.
I think the ball either got punched into it or the robot stepped on it. I can't quite remember, but I know it got hit by one of those, and the card.
Johnny Sokko, what did you think about him in this?
I feel like they could give the character a little more personality almost. I'm hoping to see it later on. It's only episode 2, so I'm not really too bent on it.
What about Jerry Mono?
Same thing for him. That's like for him like being a side character almost. He does have a lot more lines and he has a bit more personality.
2 villains, yay or nay on the 2 bad. One of them being Emperor Guillotine. He's a big yay for me. I love the whole Cthulhu look. I like the explosive fingernails idea. And I love the whole disco ball dress.
The disco aesthetic.
I even like his little Master of the Universe cane that he has.
Yeah, I like him. I'd say he feels like a common villain, I guess. Trying to take over the world kind of thing. He has his motivations and he has his good ideas and plans. His aesthetic, again, he does look like the Cthulhu, and I think that's pretty cool.
The Nucleon ball. We've already said a lot of it. I think it's pretty obvious that it's a huge yay for me. I really like the Nucleon ball. I do not rank him as high as the Dracolon just because I love the goofy Creature from the Black Lagoon voice. And look at that. But it is an awesome character. What do you think of the Nucleon ball?
Honestly, for just being a ball with some cannons and holes and stuff like that, I think they treated it very well and they did as good as they possibly could with such a character. I definitely give it a yay. It's an enjoyable watch.
I think it also holds something for the Japanese mindset because it looks like a mine. They're an island, so Navy is like a big thing for them, and it looks like something you would drop a mine to hit a tanker or a ship or something.
Yeah, and it like one of those the shark mines and stuff like that.
All right, so until next time, watch out for falling kaiju.